So in today's video, I want to talk about how important it is to clear your mind with a notebook. There's so much stuff we consume, and I realize this with myself. I'm the type of person that I'm constantly learning. I'm either listening to a podcast, I'm watching a YouTube video, I'm like going on social media, and I'm constantly learning. I try to avoid like brain rot bullshit, but I always try to learn from others about self-development, mindset, finances, making content, how to level up in your life, like all these different things. I try to always learn how I can level up, how I could be better at mindset and self-development, how I could be better at content, so I could be good for myself and also this channel. But something I realized is when you're gaining information, it's like, this is the way I look at it. When you listen to a podcast, when you watch a video, when you consume something, you're almost downloading information into your mind, and we're constantly getting fed information over and over and over again. And then it gets to a point where your brain just feels like it's on overload. Like there's so much stuff you're consuming that it's almost like the hard drive on your computer filled up, because there's so much shit in there that like you have to remove stuff, or you have to take that hard drive and get that information and download it onto another hard drive so you have more space to fill up information in your mind. And that's how I look at a notebook. I feel like a notebook, either if you're journaling, you're writing a to-do list, you're making goals you're writing down, you're doing vision boards or whatever. I feel like when we do this stuff and we put it on the notebook, we're downloading that information from our head to the notebook. And me personally, I feel like when I do this, like it clears my mind, and it like clears a little bit of the clutter, because sometimes we have a really good idea, or like say for example, I had a topic earlier for YouTube, and it was this topic about writing shit down in a notebook. I was like, let me write that down in a notebook, because when you have something in the back of your mind that's like a really good idea, you want to like hold it. And it almost gives me anxiety to know like, oh, I don't want to forget this. So you're thinking about one topic and then you're thinking about something else, rather than you could just write it down on the paper. You save your idea, and not only that, you're clearing your mind out. So I feel like you have to have a good balance between you consuming information like this video or like a podcast or reading a book. And then sometimes you just gotta sit by yourself, like either if you're listening to music or not, sit down, get an actual notebook, actual paper, and an actual pen or pencil. Like don't even put notes in your phone. Like sometimes the old school stuff, if it's not broken, don't fix it. It works well, and I like real stuff. Like sometimes I put notes on my phone, but I'd rather just get a real notebook and a real pen and write my ideas down. I do a lot of different things. You could do, like I said, simple as a to-do list. You could write down your schedule or your like daily routine. You could write down ideas you have. Or you could just straight up just write down what you're thinking in that moment. Say you put the date at the top of the paper and you just write down what you're thinking in that exact moment. And you're clearing your mind out from these ideas and getting it on the paper. And like I said, it helps you save the ideas, but it also helps you declutter your mind. And a few other things, like I really enjoy when I have a good idea down, or I have a certain vision for myself, or even if I'm doing like finances and I want to write down how much is in my account, how much I want to make, how much am I spending, like I like to use a notebook for that. And I feel like people are gravitating towards real stuff now, because there's so much fake shit out there, there's so much content, there's so much AI and all this shit. And sometimes just doing simple stuff like this, like writing in a notebook or reading a book, rather than, using fake stuff. Like, it's just, you gotta take a step back. And not only is it good that you're writing your notes down, this is the benefit you get out of it. You're clearing your mind. You get the actual idea on the notebook so you don't lose it. And also, over time, say I have notebooks that I had from a few years ago, and you can reflect on those notebooks and look where you were at mentally. There was notebooks I had from like 2020, 2018, and I look at some of the stuff I wrote, and it's like, did I write that? You realize, like, it's almost like you're capturing a piece of time, like, from you mentally, because there's shit I wrote in the past, and it's like, I can't believe I wrote that. Like, did I really think like that? Or was my mindset really like that? And you could see your progress of, like, you reflecting back on, like, notebooks you had in the past. Like, I have a bunch of notebooks. But this is, like, just something that you should do once in a while. Like, even, like, if you do it, like, I try to do it on a daily basis. But say even once a week or every other day, you just get a notebook, write down what you're thinking, or I love doing, like, those goals. Like, when you write down goals or, like, vision or whatever, you clear your mind, you get it, you save it on the paper, and then you also see your progress. You could always come back to those goals in the future and see if you hit them, see how far you became. But, like, the whole point I want you to take away from this video is that we consume so much. There's so much out there. There's so much information that you could obtain. And sometimes our brains are on overload. There's just too much storage up. Like, there's not enough storage up there, actually, because we have so much consumed that we need to release it. You need to get those ideas on paper. And it almost feels like a reset. Like, when you do that and you get those ideas out, then you could, like, download more information. You can learn more. But you have to, like, have a balance, because if you're just constantly consuming over and over again, you're not writing anything down, or you're not reflecting on those thoughts, like, it's just going to be harder for you to obtain more information. So if you guys haven't got a notebook, go to Walgreens, go to CVS, or go to, like, one of these stores. Just get a cheap notebook and a pen. That's all you need. And try it out for yourself. Like, the stuff I teach you on here, I'm trying myself, I'm doing myself, and I'm just sharing my experience. So if you guys stayed till the end and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I hope you guys have a great week.